Let's go get him again. Elite circle, third eye open, left hand holding, right hand smoking, flow still potent. Managed to score, yet I ain't open. Was on my beach chair, yeah, I ain't folding. Pardon my hiatus. It takes time when you live in life. In my mind, I'm preparing for greatness.
It's gonna take a while. All right, man. First up, rapid fire, man. Young Guru, man. He shook up the Twitter sphere with his comments, man. So I just want to get it right before we get into it. So Young Guru is a engineer, DJ, photographer, but most notably known for his work with Rockefeller, Jay-Z in particular. One of the dopest audio engineers and just speakers in general on the music game, in my opinion. Heavy Rockefeller fan and stan here in myself. So one of the things he wrote on Twitter recently, and I thought this would be an interesting topic for me and Prez to lead off into this music segment, is he said, at this point, you got to say something. Basically meaning Young Guru with the Rappity rap, with guys just saying that they rap well. He's tired of hearing that. That's what he was getting at in that comment. So he said, all you got to do is say something at this point. I'm starting to fall out of love with people who rap about how good they rap. That's the statement. There it is. Coming from him. Kind of, I don't know. I'm back and forth, Prez. I mean, I'll toss it to you first in terms of what you think about those comments.
So for me personally, that's the rap that I like. I like most of all. So like I'm gonna totally disagree with him, but I can understand like if he's just doing a blanket statement, just saying that's it. Like, no, like it's preference at this point. You know what I mean? So yeah, you're falling out of love, but I fall in and out of like every different like style of rap. Sometimes stuff start getting a little stale for it. And like ain't none of this stuff new. Ain't none of it new. You got the pop and everything else. Like these are the same little stuff they've been kind of playing with for the past 30, 40, 50 years. You know what I mean? Wait, 50, but 40 years. So yeah, I can see his argument somewhat, but I mean at the same time, it's preference. It's preference, and I think that what we talk about, like, hey, when you get tired of that, take a break from it. Go pick up the other style. Then you may get appreciation for the what these other people are doing. But I think it gotta be that mixture, and you always gotta have that. We don't want everybody doing the same damn thing. If everybody doing the same thing, this shit, the whole rap thing is gonna get stale. Period. Altogether. So.
For me, Prez, I'm like, yo, go. You engineer or have engineered for one of the most braggadocious rappers in the history of bragging. You know what I mean? And talking about Jay-Z. So, no, like, you know what I mean? Like, but here's the thing, and here's where I get where he's coming from. I think as damn near being 50 in his latter 40s, me in my late 30s, almost 40, you start to want to hear people rapping about substance more, a lot more than you hear about the lyrical bars. I think if people pay attention to what we talked about on our podcast, we talked about, yo, you got to make me feel something. You got to say something overall. But in the heart of that, you still have to be able to rap, you know what I mean, and make good music. And that leads me to like the whole lyrics. Like at the end of the day, rap and being able to rap well and execute is my first introduction into liking you. After that, it's the production. After that, it's the song. You know what I mean? Does it meld together as a whole? And that's really where I'm at when he's talking about those type of things. It's like, yo, are you molding all those things and saying something? Like, I'm no longer the mixtape guy to where, like how Lil Wayne just did he added 4 songs on a recent drop over the weekend and he's just rapping like about nothing. You know, like, but he's never, he has songs where he's rapped about things or stuck to a subject matter. Like, I don't even care if it's not deep, you know what I mean? But lyrics do matter, and the bravado and all that, like that comes with it too. Like you got to be confident. I got to believe what you're saying. You got to have some authenticity in your rap. So I think that comes with it. Like you said, it comes with it. And I'm always going to be lyric driven first, then comes everything else with it. You know what I mean? But the lyrics draw me in first. So that's where I'm at. So I think that's where the pushback is with Guru on that comment.
Yeah, I mean, so this is where I take it's easier to take somebody with the skill, you can see if they start off just that way, they braggadocious, whatever, but they can see they got the lyricism, they got the skill behind it. You can say, hey, they can adapt to all this versus, let's say, Lil Yachty. Somebody like Lil Yachty, who originally when he came out, like you couldn't see where this dude was gonna go in this growth because he just on some other, just not really rapping, didn't really see like what he was bringing new to it, but he still could survive up in there, like because as he has like in the industry a little bit. So I could see it way, but I mean, it's easier to see the progression wise from a lyrical standpoint or those bars. So I appreciate that, and that's where and I think that's where majority of the great artists comes from that style, and then they evolve and grow a little bit and add a little something to hip hop. And yeah, man, I mean, if he's still on that, like I don't know how he's gonna didn't say anything about pop, like because like every song on the radio damn near sound the same sometimes too. So well, how are you gonna say you're tired of this but not tired of that? Because we need all those styles to change and adapt. And I think when we first came on here, that's what we was talking about, how the lyricism kind of went to the background for a minute, and those guys was fading off, and then it came back up. Now Ransom, the Benny the Butchers, the Freddie Gibbs, all those are having life now, so it's starting to come through. So I think it has its ups and downs, and same way as everybody is going to have their ups and downs with the music. You got to constantly just switch it up. There's ton of music out there. Just go. If you ain't feeling it, don't listen to it for a minute. Then go to something else, and then come back. Like it's gonna be there. The music ain't going nowhere. They didn't produce it, put it out there. If you ain't feeling it for the moment, like it's ways to articulate that versus just saying that it's trash. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and my thing is like I wanted to expound on a point you made about just being entertained with a certain type of rap. You know what I mean? Like whether you're talking about underground, minimalism, not a whole lot going on in the beats, and they're more focused on what they're saying with their words in rap. You have your time to where that's what you want to listen to. Me in particular, I go through different phases of the day. Like sometimes early in my day, I can listen to more mellowed out, just drumless beats, loops and stuff like that, and just be at home with a rock marciano, for example. But when I get off work and I'm about to head to the gym, or it's just one of them days where I'm upbeat, I may not want to throw on a rock marciano. I may not want to throw on a West Side Gun. And these are guys that just, have a similar tone, similar music, but I enjoy their music. That doesn't mean that they're not talking about anything. You know what I mean? Like they're talking about things that I like to hear. You know what I mean? So I like the bravado. I like cats to brag. I like that cats that talk about what they've been through. It's their truth. So I don't never want to judge it. And the fact that dudes like to rap about how well they rap. I mean, RJ Payne is another guy that comes to my mind when he talks about that. Like, do you not like a RJ Payne? RJ Payne sprinkles in, he sprinkles in talking about shit too. Like heavy, you know what I mean? And he's been expanding his sound. Like at first he started off that, I rap really, really well. And that's what he was focused on. But then he's progressed into making certain songs, with certain subject matter that can resonate. And that's when I jumped on board. The man had like a bunch of projects out and I wasn't even rocking with it. You know what I mean? Because it was just, I was more so where Guru was. Like, God damn, you borrowed my head off. But what are you talking about?
And I think this came up because of what Reason was talking about it, right?
Yeah. No, Reason also said something crazy this weekend. I want to know how you feel about it, about Fab and Andre 3000.
What
he would take Fab over Andre 3000.
Get the fuck out of here.
That's what he said, man. That's what he said, bro. Let me make sure it was Andre 3000, Reason, Andre. I'm putting it up. I don't want to throw Reese under the bus. Damn.
Bro,
Yep, he did say it. Okay, so I'm factual here. Like I'm looking it up, y'all, in real time. So sorry. So Reason, the TDE, we rock with Reason. He's a relatively unknown to the masses, but in guys in our circles, if you're listening to this podcast, you know about. you know who he is.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, that's crazy, man. Reason what, yo, we need a Fab versus Andre versus only. I got Fab. Hand me the aux. What? He said, what? He said this on Van Lathan's podcast, Higher Learning. So if you go to Van Lathan's podcast, Higher Learning, he said,
man,
that's where he said this.
You follow Reason on Instagram and the stuff. I don't know if he's that every time, but he gets in this party mode sometimes. He out there drinking. I don't just take this up as one of the nights he was drinking and just out there just talking. Well, we all do it. We all do it.
I don't care if it's
like,
verses or not. Like, look, man, ain't nobody listening to no Fab mixtape verses in a versus against Andre 3000. I'm sorry. I don't care if you don't have a solo album. It ain't about that. It's not about
bro,
that.
like he got classics.
He got classics, man. He got classics. And I love Fab. I grew up on Fab music, the Clue freestyles, all that. I think he's very underrated. We talked about Fab a lot on here in regards to our respect for him and just his discography and albums, having classic mixtapes versus classic albums. So, you know, with all that said, he doesn't have bad albums. It's just no classics, you know? So when you put all that together, Andre still has arguably 3 classic albums within a group, and the bars on those albums are elite.
Yeah, the stuff that's going to stand out and it's gonna be in everybody else's memory. Like I get Reason. You may feel that way. But when we talking about going against the mass, you talking about putting them on a stage in front of everybody and what everybody's gonna resonate with. Come on, bro. This is not it. It'd be just like Bone and 3-6 Mafia all over again, bro. This should be a waste of time.
For sure. You got any more comments on Reason? Anything you want to let them know?
No. Well, I was gonna put up in there with him and like Nick Grant are the ones that I could see that, like, you know, going to what Guru was saying, that I think do it real well on that level, and like those will be exceptions. I don't care how often they come across and do it, man. It just always sounds nice. Good sonically. Yeah. So it's just, yeah. I don't agree with Guru on that. I think he's in one of those things, like he had that deeper moment like we done had on this pod. You got to sit here and actually think about it and just like, hey, mood goes with the music goes with your mood sometimes. And sometimes you need to step away and come back. I think it's been several albums where I didn't agree with that initially and then came back and really did like. So, and I think that's just what it takes sometimes. If you need a break from that, he's probably on a different level than us too, but I know he's on a different level because he's in the studio engineering these albums. So he's probably hearing this a lot more than we are. And he probably has to turn down this stuff a lot. So he's seeing a lot raw music than we are. So he's probably like, with this statement was just saying like, yeah, bring something different to me for once instead of the Rappity rap. I want to engineer something that's going to be a little bit different than what Jay-Z been bringing to me for the past 30 years.
Word. So y'all let us know how y'all feel about the Young Guru comments. Are you more into lyricism? Are you more so into artists that are the total package, that are saying something? Because I think that's really where this debate boils down to, when you talk about the statement that he says. So y'all let us know, man, you know, and also if Reason is out of pocket, definitely chime in, let us know, man. I think it'll be an overwhelmingly, you know, Andre 3000, but it is what it is with that, man.